Hi, my name is Rob Kerr. I'm a staff photographer at the Bulletin. I've been here since 1999. These are some of my favorite pictures from 2013. This picture, first picture I'm going to show you, is a good example of better backgrounds make better pictures. I was in a small room photographing an artist doing face painting at the Boys and Girls Club, and was quick to notice the green wall, and when this gal looked over at me with her painted face, her name's Nicole, I picked up on the green accents on her face painting, and it set nicely against the solid background. So it made for simple elements to look at a complex piece of art decorated in her face. This next picture is a favorite of mine because golf, for those that know, it does have a great deal of drama. To a lot of people it doesn't, and at the end of a long day I'd already photographed the winners of the tournament, but had heard that there was a playoff going on for the last spot at the PGA Championship, or to qualify for the PGA Championships at a tournament at Crosswater Golf Club. And I got out just in time to watch the tee shot, and I was nervous that I was going to not be able to make it to the green in time. And photographing kind of from a little too far away, I kept my camera on Todd Luigi as he hit his second shot and sank it from 95 yards out. The drama was crazy. There was probably only 20 people there, but 10 of them were literally crying. And the caddy later joked to me that that's the highest he had ever seen the player jump, Rob Lebritz. It was pretty exciting for him to qualify for the PGA Championships and to do it in a dramatic fashion, a sudden death playoff by hitting a 95-yard shot. This picture is kind of a heartfelt picture for me. Chance was a big story this year a little bit in Central Oregon, and I was the first to photograph him. After a couple surgeries, he was kind of down and out when I was asked to go make a picture of him. He was heavily drugged after the surgery, was in serious pain, and sleeping in a crate. After hanging out for a little while, I asked the doctor if she thought she was going to take the dog outside or get it up at all, and she said that in fact she did need to take the dog out to go to the bathroom, and it was at that point that I realized I was going to get the best picture of Chance. I love this picture because Chance really loved people, and I noticed right off the bat that the dog just really wanted to please, and that was kind of some of the pain of the story. I knew I had to tastefully show the dog with all the wounds in a way the newspaper would publish. We don't publish things that are too gruesome. So I had to position myself in a place on the grass, and Chance just watched me carefully and lovingly. It was pretty easy to make the picture, but ultimately a very painful story. So I feel like I was successful in taking something gruesome and making it heartfelt, and I think that comes across in the moment of the dog's eyes looking at me. I made this picture on the eve of the Crook County Fair. I'm born and raised Oregonian and Western, and enjoy the agricultural elements of our Central Oregon community, and it was pretty fun for me at this time of night to be able to freely walk around and make pictures. These boys were playing a game of tag, and myself with just a 50mm lens was able to move around and find the elements of light and body English to make a picture. With a 50mm lens, I was able to set my autofocus sensor on the left, highlighting Chase Buchanan because I felt like his hat was pretty cool looking, and then I just let the whole action unfold around me. And being involved in making the picture, being successful in grabbing some color, some body English, having a full frame from left edge, right edge, in the middle. This is a favorite picture of mine. I made this picture at Culver High School in January last year. It was a situation where I was having to make a picture for our sports section But I was also given the freedom to make a picture for a column that was going to run a little later, which meant that I could kind of move around and grab some more of the atmosphere. And I was quick to recognize a little bit of a photo trick. It's called a silhouette, that by setting manually my camera exposure on the wrestlers, that anything that I put in the foreground into those highlight sections would be silhouettes. And obviously the silhouette of a cowboy hat is quite symbolic. And once I had my exposure set and the placement of the cowboy hat nicely against the white ring and filling in the orange, I knew I could just kind of wait for the right action to make a good picture. And it was a neat situation. It was awfully nice to have the freedom to make a different type of picture that captures some of the rural sporting events. I was asked to make a picture of the blue moon, and unfortunately when I got up to the Cascade Lakes for what was going to be a well-rehearsed photograph of an outing, it didn't work out that well. We had smoky skies, we had overcast skies, and there weren't a lot of people out that night. So a little bit nervous in having to push the limits of my camera gear. I was able to pull this picture out as a float tube fisherman kicked his way to shore. I actually used an ISO setting of 4,000. I squeezed very carefully, handheld, the shutter at 1/15 of a second with an aperture of 1.2 on a 50 millimeter lens. I realized it was pitch black out there. I realized that the moon was not going to show up clearly, and I also recognized that the highlight on the water was going to be my best chance to show the fishermen. So I filled the frame a little bit on the left with some mountain to show that we were out up in the beautiful Cascade Lakes. And for the fishermen and for those who've been out at that time of night, it also had a little bit of that peace and quiet that good old Mother Nature offers us.